Good morning, everyone. How are we? Let's just stop that. And there we go. Hello and welcome. I just found out I could do a little overlay and put that up there so that you all get the notification before I jump on and start talking to you. So, hello and welcome, everybody. So, welcome to my Thursday live crafting session. And I'm coming to you live today, sadly, to do a little bit of sad crafting. I've had some sad news from a friend of mine. So as you can see, the sympathy cards up the top as the heading is sadly what I will be creating today. So a few of you may know that I come from Lismore, New South Wales, in the Northern Rivers, and we went through some really, really tough times over 12 months ago now. We had a major flood that came in and just about destroyed our town, destroyed many people's homes, and we've had a lot of fallout from that happening in our hometown. So a lot of people have had a lot of mental issues, sadly, when it comes to getting over what we went through, getting over the loss of many lots and lots of money in possessions, and sadly, some people have struggled with their mental situation. And I got a message just recently from a friend of mine that her son, had passed away, and no one ever wants to mourn the loss of a child. I think it would probably be one of the hardest. Sorry, I've known this lady for a long time. And it's probably one of the hardest things I think a parent would ever have to go through. So, sorry. So today I wanted to dedicate my crafting to her son, and I wanted to create some cards to send to her. So anyway, let's get on to crafting. Sorry, I thought I was going to hold myself together for this, but anyway, it's a very, very sad time. It's been a very hard time for many people in my hometown. The poor hometown is struggling big time, and I think people need to realize that it's a thing that a lot of people have gone through, that has been a very, very hard thing in many people's lives. And I do know that even with my daughter, she actually had a person that went into her work one day and said something about, she was a lady that was pretty irate, and she said, I don't care that they've lost so much in the floods. I want to get my job done, blah, blah, blah. And my daughter, who is the most calm, most beautiful girl on the world, stood up to this lady and said to her, I don't think anyone understands what a lot of people have gone through. So anyway, so I wanted to dedicate this to my friend, because she's going through a really, really hard time, and I wanted to make some really special cards for her. And I think the hardest part about sympathy cards is when we have to do it when our emotions are quite high. And so anyway, I wanted to dedicate this to her. So let's get down onto my desk so we can get off me being the way I am. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you a couple of things that I have going on in my business at the moment, and then we will get on to our crafting of these gorgeous cards. So I want to create something really, really gorgeous for her today, so that when she gets it in the post, it'll brighten her day. So we have Stamp Camp happening at the moment. So this is our Global Creative Tutorial Bundle, and we're putting together a stamp camp. It's not too late to actually join. It's happening this weekend. You will, if you wanted to join now, you will still get the products, but you won't be able to craft along right at that very time without the products, but you can craft along later. You will get access to the PDF and to the video tutorials. You'll be a part of that group for forever, so you will have a lifetime access to it. Plus, we're actually doing this. We're doing unlisted YouTube videos. So you will have access to the videos once you keep the links. So that's $55.95 to purchase, and you get a pack of the Hello Irresistible Designer Series paper. You get a roll of the white crinkle seam binding, and you get a pack of the loose frosted dots, as well as getting access to the 12 PDF tutorials and the 12 videos. And it's actually a live event held through a Facebook group. So it's actually a group that we will be crafting. Those videos will be actually uploaded into that group, and some people will be going live. Some people have pre-recorded their videos. So it's a great way to spend a weekend. So once again, too, I have my monthly stamps club that I do every month, and it costs $50 to be a part of my stamps club. You get a card kit to make 6 cards. You get a video tutorial showing you step by step how to make the 6 cards, but you also get the stamp set as well. Deborah's cutting for her stamp camp today, so Deborah's being a part of it as well. There's quite a few of you. We're overwhelmed by the response that we've had. It's going to be a really, really great event, the stamp camp. So if you haven't registered, there is a link in the show more box down below on YouTube. There's also a link in the description of this video, and it is called the Global Creative Project stamp camp, so March stamp camp. So if you wanted to be a part of that, please make sure you jump on and register today, and I will order your products and get them to you as soon as I can, but sadly they won't arrive by the weekend. So my March Stamps Club is Irresistible Blooms this month, and I'm telling you, this suite is absolutely gorgeous. It's our new online exclusive products, and I can't put it down. It's a gorgeous suite. I absolutely can't put it down. So I'm actually doing it as my Stamps Club this month as well. Also, too, I've got a couple of spots still left in my two-tone flora project class. So if you were interested, if you live in the Beaudesert area or close to the Beaudesert area, I've got a few spots left for the Friday. I also have a few spots left if you wanted to do it online. So it costs $40 to attend in person, and it costs $50 to have it online. And what you will get is a quarter pack of the Fancy Flora DSP. You will get a length of the Pool Party ribbon. You will get a pack of the Iridescent Pastel gems, and you will get a PDF showing you how to make. We're making 5 cards and 2 gift boxes, so it's a fairly good class. So it will be an awesome class. I do have a few spots, so if you are interested, please give me a call and make sure that I still have the spots available. Hang on, and there we go. There's my phone number if you wanted to give me a call. Now, if you live away from here, you can actually get it delivered. What you will need is the two-tone flora stamp set, which I'm going to be using today actually anyway. You'll need the bundle, and you'll need your own inks and adhesives and tools. But everything else, the cardstock, the paper, the ribbon, the embellishments, all is included in your kit. So if you're interested in that, there is a link in the show more box down below if you wanted to join. That's my monthly coffee and card class. And our global one sheet wonder that I'm doing with my lovely friend Rose Ward. This is absolutely a product packed class, I am telling you. $80, and you get a pack of the Hello Irresistible paper. You get a roll of our golden vanilla satin edge trim. You also get a pack of the loose frosted dots. You also get a full pack of A4 Subtles collection cardstock. You also get a full pack of envelopes. So this is honestly a huge way to go, and it is a one sheet wonder club. So you get to make 6 beautiful cards from myself with a video. You also get to make 6 beautiful cards that Rose has done in her. So you get to make 12 cards. So it's a minimum of 12 cards per month. This is a new exciting club that we are doing, and I am telling we are overwhelmed with the response, and it is so much good value for your money, I am telling you. So and if you actually purchase my one sheet wonder club this month, I will give you access to our stamp camp for free because you're buying the product from me anyway. Okay, so that you get 2 for the price of 1. So I'm telling you, it is really, really awesome. All right, 2-day winter retreat. The dates have been organized. Now, I just did a post on my Facebook page saying about my October one, and I found out that there is a wedding on in October. I was going to do my one is 22nd and 23rd, and I was going to do a Christmas one 28th and 29th of October, but I will probably hopefully change that to the first week in November. Okay, so I do apologize. I did have that locked in. I didn't know that there was a wedding on in the area. So, and accommodation is, I mean, I've had 27 people at my retreat last weekend, and accommodation was booked out. So, so if you're attending any of my retreats, the first thing you do is book your accommodation. There's 3 motels in town. The first thing you do is book your accommodation. That is one of the priority things. All right, so let's get to making these gorgeous cards for my beautiful friend. All right, so I decided I've got a couple of different stamp sets here. I thought the flowers in the fragrant flowers was a lovely set of flowers. I also thought the two-tone flowers was lovely, and I mean, you know me, I love flowers. So whenever I'm creating a gorgeous card, and especially a sympathy card, flowers come to mind straight away, because I want to share some gorgeous flowers with my friends at their sad time. So so I think the first one that I'm going to do is the fragrant flowers. So I want them to be fairly classical cards. I don't want them being anything too over the top. So I think what I'm going to do, so I've got a very vanilla card base here, and I think I'm going to do a very vanilla front layer, but I also need, and I'm trying to find where all my card bases are there, also need a soft color, I think, to go in behind. And I think maybe the Blushing Bride might be a gorgeous soft color to go in behind here. So I'm going to do a little bit of embossing on this one to make it look really super special. And I'm so lucky that that is cut to the right size. So that's because I've got my layers all sorted. All right, so I'm going to grab out the large flower out of this one. And I'm going to grab my Embossing Additions Toolkit. Okay, so I have it here. This Embossing Additions Toolkit, I tell you, is the bomb when it comes to embossing. It's everything. So we've got a little brush, we've got tweezers, we've got I've got my Versamark, and it even comes with a little embossing buddy, because we actually stopped selling the embossing buddies, but you can get it in the Additions Toolkit, which is really, really awesome. I'm just going to grab a scrap piece of paper. Oh, my words are letting me down today. All right, so I'm just going to add a scrap piece of paper in behind. So the one thing that we do when we're embossing is making sure, sorry, I'm now sniffling, should have got a tissue, is making sure that we go over our piece of cardstock with our embossing buddy. Now what that does is it makes sure that there's no static happening on our card, that there's no oily fingerprints that might be happening on our card from us touching our card layer. Now I'm going to grab the block to mount that flower up. And I'm going to grab my Versamark ink. And I'm going to ink up that flower. Okay. So I think I'm just going to pop that flower just down into the corner of the card like that. Okay, then I'm going to bring in my gold embossing powder, and I'm going to hold that with my tweezers so that I don't get embossing powder all over me. I'm going to sprinkle the gold embossing powder over that image. And I'm nearly out of gold embossing powder. Can you believe that? Okay, so we have a gorgeous embossed image. Okay. And I'll put the lid on my Versamark, and I'll also put the lid on my embossing powder. Okay, I'll grab my heat tool. I've got it in a different PowerPoint, and I don't know whether that's going to work in that PowerPoint, but anyway. And then we're going to heat emboss. I'm just waiting for my heat gun to heat up a little bit. Okay, and then you can see that embossing changing. So we're getting that gorgeous gold look to happen. So the main tip with embossing is to make sure that you just wait until you see it start to bubble and then it goes smooth, and that's enough. If you keep heating, you'll find that you overheat it and it will tend to go dull and horrible. And that means that you've actually burnt your embossing powder. So you don't want to do that. So you can see there that we've got it nice and embossed. You can see all those nice shiny areas. All right, so then I thought what I would do with this is just add a hint of color. I'm going to leave, sorry, I just want to tip my embossing powder back into there. Okay, so let's tip that all back in. And see, that's the beauty of this embossing additions toolkit, because you can tip it all back into your container really, really easily, which is fantastic. Now just pop all that back into that tray so that for the next one, because I'm probably going to emboss the next one as well. All right, so I thought that was quite nice, and I thought I wanted to just use a little bit of coloring to create a bit of color just on those flowers. So I'm going to use a small embossing brush, a small blending brush. Now we have, this one is not, I apologize, it's not a Stampin' Up one, but we now sell the Stampin' Up ones. So we do have them, and they are good for doing something like this, because when you are embossing and you want to emboss just a little tiny bit, then the little ones are really handy for that. So I'm just going to ink up with some Blushing Bride, and I just want to add a hint of Blushing Bride on those flowers. So just a hint of Blushing Bride, just to give it a little bit of color. I didn't want a lot of color on here. I just wanted to give it a little tiny bit of color there like that. Okay, so now I want to actually mount that up onto my, pop that aside. I want to mount that up onto my Blushing Bride cardstock. But I actually, because it's been embossed, you can see when you emboss, it actually, it does tend to warp our cardstock a little bit because of the heat. I do tend to, sometimes you can do this with your bone folder. Just run it between your thumb and the cardstock, and it curls it back the way we want it to curl. The reason why I heat from underneath too is to make sure that my cardstock is actually curling down, so that when I go to glue it down, I don't have corners that are sticking up everywhere. Okay. So, oh, Linda, you had a fall? Oh, and you've broken your toe? Ouch. All right, so I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to add a little bit of our Seal Plus. No, Seal Plus here in my drawer. I'm going to add Seal Plus on the back to glue it down, because I want to have a good strong hold glue, and I want to have a fair bit of glue to make it glue down really nice and flat. So this is the only time that I tend to use a strong hold glue like this. You know me, I'm always the liquid glue. I'm always, now I've got the hiccups, I'm always the person that uses liquid glue, because I like that wiggle room. So you've fractured your toe. That's not good, Linda. All right, so we're just going to line that up and get a really nice even border, both sides, top, bottom, and then pop it down, and then it glues down onto that layer really, really well. So you can see there that it's then flattened it out and made it really nice and flat. So that's one of the main things when you're actually embossing to remember to do. Now, I have a sentiment in here with Deeper Sympathy, so I wanted to use that sentiment. So I'm actually going to grab some Very Vanilla that I have here. It's a scrap, and I will stamp that sentiment, and I think I'm going to stamp that in gold as well, so it's got that similar, so it's going to go with this, I mean. Okay, so let's grab with Deepest Sympathy. So as I said in my description of my video, a lot of the time when we have to make these sympathy cards, it is very hard to do it when our emotions are quite high. So my suggestion would be to actually make a couple of sympathy cards and just have them on hand, so that whenever you have a situation that sadly you need one, you can actually just grab one that's already there. Okay. And I think the main thing with sympathy, I know a lot of people say that they struggle with sympathy cards. The main thing with sympathy cards is to make sure you keep them quite simple. Don't have them too over the top, just elegant, simple, and quite, how can I say it? Not too overcrowded with things. Okay, so I'm going to grab that again. And I just put it down in there without my tweezers, but anyway. And so we will sprinkle that on there again. And I didn't use my embossing buddy. Now, can you see what's happened? I didn't use my embossing buddy. And can you see how there's powder stuck where it shouldn't be? So always remember to use the embossing buddy. That just showed you a good example of what happens when you don't. Okay, so let's, yeah, this heat gun over this side is definitely not working. It's getting tangled up in all of my blending brushes and you name it. I need to have it coming from the other side. So anyway, we're going to heat that. So once again, waiting for that heat tool to heat up, and then you can see that it heats up and starts to change that. You're just seeing it bubble and then go smooth, and that's enough. All done. Okay. Okay, so I think I'm going to, I want it coming in from that direction. So I'm going to cut it down a little bit with my little handy dandy paper trimmer. Okay, and we'll trim that back a little bit. Okay, so we have that. I was wondering whether that stamp set has anything else. I was just wondering whether it had any other sentiments that I could pop inside, but I think I just want to write her a message anyway. So it'll probably be better just with a handwritten message. If anyone has any other suggestions of stamp sets that might have a really good verse for the inside, please tell me and I'll see if I have that stamp set. Okay, so I wanted that going at a little bit of an angle. I didn't leave much room for that to happen, but it is there. And I'm thinking the gorgeous gold and vanilla ribbon will be pretty for this. Okay, so I think I'm actually going to do the ribbon. I think I'm going to do the ribbon coming up and down through there. I don't know. What do you think? The ribbon up this way, or do you think it should go this way? So horizontal or vertical? While I find another roll of ribbon. Oh, and believe it. Oh, yeah, I do. Horizontal or vertical? Up and down, Julie says. Up and down this way. Vertical. Diane saying vertical. Elizabeth saying vertical. Okay, sounds good to me. All right, we'll do vertical. So I'll grab my Seal Plus again, and I'll add a little bit of Seal Plus top and bottom. Okay. There. Okay. So we will fold our card base in half. And I actually think what would look really nice is the trick that I did last time I did my video. I'm going to pop those up on dimensionals onto the front of the card. I think maybe with the twine like I did last week in my video, because I actually like that little fine bow, so it won't be too overpowering. Melinda was going to say horizontal. Well, there you go. You're outvoted, Melinda. Everyone voted for the vertical, so you never know. But, you know, if it's our own card and we want to do it the other way, then we do it the other way. What's that song? It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. It's my card and I'll do what I want to. Just kidding. All right. I needed a bit of crafty time with people today. Needed to hang out with all my crafty clan. Okay, so I need to take your pick tool to get rid of those backings. So I think I might emboss a layer for the inside as well. I think even just popping a flower on the inside, I think could be quite pretty. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do my little cheating thing for the inside. So I'm going to pop that sentiment up on the front. Okay, like that. With deepest sympathy. And then I think, as I said, I think I'm going to do the little trick with the twine. So I'm going to do a double bow, I think. So now with my linen thread, I always run my fingernails along it to get rid of that real curly look so that it's more manageable, because you all know me with twine is not a pretty thing. So I'm just going to cut that. I've doubled it over because I want it to be a little bit thicker bow. So I've doubled it over. I'm just going to thread it through in underneath that ribbon. So that running it between your fingers is a great way of getting it to calm down a little bit and make it a little bit more pliable and easier to tie. So I think I'm just going to do a cute double bow there. If I can get the other loop to go through. Please don't do that to me. Okay, let's try again. You know me and twine. I struggle. Okay, there we go. This one's got it. Right. Okay. So you can see it is quite simple, but as you can see, quite stunning and quite striking. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of Wink of Stella. So I'm going to add some Wink of Stella just to the leaves. And then I'm going to spritz. So I'm going to cover my desk with a piece of paper And let's squeeze a little bit of that wink down. Oops, and I squeezed a whole lot, so we're probably going to get a lot of spritzing happening here. But spritzing all over the card to give it that shimmer and shine. Okay, so you can see there that we've got some nice shimmer and shine. So now for the insert, what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to take that large stamp and actually just stamp off. Where did I put my stamping mat? There it is. I think I'm just going to take that large stamp and stamp off with some crumb cake, but actually stamp it off so it's not so vivid. I'm going to check it out first before I'm going to check out how many times I want to stamp it off. So this is what I do when I'm trying to work out what I want to put on the inside, because I just want it to be just a faint look. So I'm going to use my crumb cake. I'm going to stamp it off once, which that's quite dark. I'm going to stamp it again, which is quite nice. I think I might actually only need to use it second generation. Yep, definitely. Okay, so I'm going to stamp off once. So can you see that? So I'm trying to work out, because I want to have it just very faint that I can write over it, but it's just a bit of a background on the insert. So I'm going to ink that up. I'm going to bring in, I'm going to stamp it off once. I'm going to bring in my layer and I'm going to stamp it. I think like that. Okay. And I think I might actually do one more little bit up in that corner as well. So let's ink that up again. And that way it gives me a lot of room to be able to write. And I'm just going to stamp a little flower coming down in there. So you can see a really nice, soft insert for the card. Okay. Let's pop that into the card. So now I'm going to use my liquid glue. So hopefully I've got one with some glue in it. And then also too, for the inside, I'm going to spritz that with a little bit of Wink of Stella as well. So we have that. Okay, and a little bit of, oh, where's my paper? I want to protect my work surface as much as I can. I'm going to get ink everywhere. All right, so we're just going to spritz on the inside as well. And then, of course, I'm going to use some gems, and you're all going to say they're not available anymore, and I know that. But they're my favorite. I've got gilded gems because I think the gilded gems is going to go absolutely gorgeous with this. So I apologize. I'm using retired things. But, you know, it's my card, and I will do it if I want to. All right, so I'm just going to one there. One just there. Nope. One over there. And a little one just over there. So what do you think? First sympathy card, how did I go? Simple yet elegant, I think. All right. Okay. So now we'll move on to card number 2. I'm going to keep those sentiments out because I need that. So has anyone found a stamp set that has really, really good sympathy verses in them? So does anyone have a go-to stamp set when it comes to that that I might see if I've got? All right. Let's go to the next one, which I wanted to use crumb cake. So you can see here I'm keeping the colors very, very simple and elegant. All right. I might do this one. What can I do with crumb cake? I might do a little bit stronger color. When I say a little bit stronger color, it is a stronger color. but I think we might do mauve. What do you think? A nice mauve color with vanilla? What do you think? Oh, now let me see. Got smaller ones there. So we can do vanilla for inside. We can do mauve on the outside. Okay. I don't have the ginkgo branch one. No, I don't have that. Thanks anyway, Nicole. I used to have a go-to stamp set that I used to always use, but yeah, I need something that shaded summer. No, anyone has anything sheltering inspired thoughts? Inspired thoughts. Do I have that? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Inspired thoughts. Oh, that's gorgeous. Sheltering you with love at a time when words fall short. Yes. Yes. Okay, I'm going to stamp that inside there. All right. And now this is scary because I've done the whole card and now I'm going to stamp a sentiment in there. But it's okay. Worst comes to worst. If I muck it up, I can always pop something over it. So let's grab that. Thank you, Trish. Is that it there? That's it. Okay, so let's pop that onto a block. Very nice. Yeah, a simple thinking of you. That there is sending healing thoughts your way. Would that be, do you think that's okay? Because I've got to make a second one now. Sending healing thoughts your way? Or is that more for, do you think, when someone's sick? Anyone else with any suggestions? Pop it into the comments. All right. So I'm going to now do some flowers here. So I thought what I might do is do some gorgeous two-tone flora flowers, and I might even do them on a bit. Okay, let's maybe stamp some and cut some out for this one. So let's go this one and this one. As you can see, this is a well-used stamp set, this one. And it is my stamp set that I will be using in my coffee and card class this month. That one. And I'm thinking this different shaped one. We might do that one, and that one. Okay. That one. On that way, and that one that way. Okay. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to try this. I don't know whether I want to use just fresh freesia. I think that's the color that I have in behind there. Whether I want to use fresh freesia Whether I want to use it full strength, we will soon see. That. And then I thought I could use the crumb cake as the detailed part over the top. We'll see. We'll see if that looks any good. What do you think? Yes? No? Seaside Bay has heartfelt sympathy. Well, gee, we just used that all weekend. Yes. Do we think these colours? Or do you think stamped off? Well, I've got it stamped off here because let's try that. And then that. Maybe that's too heavy and dark and I can't actually even see it. So that's like a guess. What do you think? Full strength, half strength? What do you think? Full strength, says Bree. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question too. All right. Okay, so Sandy's saying full. Anika's saying full. Everyone's saying full strength. Okay, we'll do full strength. Okay, I want to ask you a question. So you all know that Stampin' Up! Has introduced that they're going to have a color refresh. Correct? Has everyone heard that Stampin' Up! Are having a color refresh? Because they are, with our brand new color, brand new catalog is going to be a color refresh. So what's the color that you would say it's okay if it leaves? What's a color that you could live without? What's one of your colors that you really, whoops a daisy, and I messed that one up, that you really don't like, that you won't regret if it goes? Type it into the comments and let me know what color you would not care if it goes or not. And I can tell you, I've got a couple of colors that I really don't like. Can anyone guess? Oh, Mossy Meadow, Kayla. You don't like Mossy Meadow? I don't mind Mossy Meadow. I'm okay with Mossy Meadow. Come on, people. Tell me what color that you would be quite happy if it left. Garden green, I'm with you, Bree. Garden green is one of my definites. So saffron, Janice, really? I love so saffron. Pumpkin pie. Yep, pumpkin pie is the one I don't like. Cajun craze, Margaret. I don't mind Cajun craze. Bermuda Bay, Linda, really? See, this surprises me. It really surprises me when you start having this conversation, what people like and what they don't. Garden green, definitely. Melon Mambo and Shaded Spruce. Inika, really? Melon Mambo, I love. Shaded Spruce, yeah, I could take it or leave it. But so saffron, oh, it's my favorite color. I prefer it compared to Daffodil Delight. I'm like, ugh, Daffodil Delight. Ugh. Good morning. Hey Lynn, how you going? Petal Pink. You don't like Petal Pink? Too orangey, Trish? You hope they keep Evening Evergreen? Yeah, I don't mind Evening Evergreen. I quite like it. Okay, let's get some dies. Let's stop the chatting. Keep going. Keep going. That's all right, Janice. Keep going with your ideas. Tell me what is it that you like and dislike. So, what's the too light, Trish? Petal Pink. Okay, it's very interesting. Petal Pink, Sue's Petal Pink as well. Okay, all right. Now, I do apologize. I'm going to have to bring a big shot machine back in. You didn't see me using this because my other machines aren't in my craft room at the moment. But anyway, it's a Stampin' Up! Big shot machine. It was a Stampin' Up! Big shot machine. Anyway, all right. So let's grab the dies for these. Soft suede, Linda. Wow. Like, see, you're surprising me. Like, soft suede, I love soft suede. I mean, I don't probably use it as much, but yeah, I don't mind it. You love the fresh freesia. Well, Janice, are you surprised? I know I'm using it today, but I actually don't like it that much. I'm using it today because I wanted to have a little bit of a different color, but I actually don't like it that much. Can you believe that? I would prefer Highland Heather any day, but because I picked out the fresh freesia layer, I'm going with the fresh freesia, but yes, I actually prefer Highland Heather. The big shot still rules, Nicole. All right. So we've got, oh, and that one moved, but that's okay. We'll cover it. We'll move. We'll put it somewhere where it can't be seen too much. Actually, I'm going to show you something there. So can you see when I cut that one out, the die moved? And it's because these plates are bowed. They were brand new plates at my retreat, and they're bowed already. Okay, so I'm actually going to pop that on again and cut it out closer. So whenever you miscut a die cut, line it up again and run it through again. And look, not too bad. I can actually put a little bit of coloring on there, but I'm not going to worry. It's all good. Let's pop this one on here and hope it won't move. There. Oh, I can't do the other one. It's too close. So let's just do that one and see that we get that where it needs to be. Okay, so Julie, the reason why plates bow is because people keep using dies in the middle of the die cutting machine and they don't rotate the plates. So you should be using all areas of those cutting plates. Can you see here that all the cut marks are right in the middle? Nothing on the outside edges. You need to use the outside edges. You need to use the middle. You need to keep moving your dies all around the place, because what actually happens is when you cut in the same place all the time, your cutting pads will where the pressure is, they will get that hump and hollow. So keep flipping them over, keep rotating them, flipping them over, and making sure that you are using all areas of your die cutting platform. So see here, I'm popping it out towards the edge. I'm actually going to use the outside edge to get a bit of cutting happening out there as well. So you've just got to remember not to keep putting things right in the same spot all the time. Okay, so we've got some flowers cut out. All right. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in this, and I thought I would stamp some of the leafy bits. This one here, I might do that in crumb cake so that it then brings everything in, and then I'm going to arrange my flowers. So I tend to find that I like to arrange things on my card how I think they're going to sit. So I think I'm going to arrange them similar to that. So some are going to be glued down, some are going to be popped up, and then I want some of this leafy bit coming out. Okay, so I'm going to mount that up onto a block. I'm going to grab my pierce mat again. Now, the reason I'm using a pierce mat is because I am using photopolymer stamps, but if I wasn't using photopolymer stamps, I'm still using a pierce mat because my surface has a texture on it, and we want to have really good stamped clear images. So using a pierce mat gives that cushioning and makes sure that we get some really nice good stamped images. So I'm going to do that. Okay, so we've got one there. I think I want to pop another one coming out down through here. And I'm thinking even another one through here. Okay, to give us some nice leaves happening there. So we have that, we have that, that, and that. Okay, so I think that's giving us quite a nice look. I'm going to probably pop a bow through here as well. I think I might stamp my, oh, there was a sympathy stamp in this one too, wasn't there? With heartfelt sympathy. I'm going to do with heartfelt sympathy out of this one up the top. So we will mount that up onto a block. I'm actually just going to stamp that with heartfelt sympathy. Okay, now in this stamp set, we have some gorgeous little flowers. So I'm going to stamp a couple of those little flowers around. And we have solid ones, or we have just the liney bit. I think I'm going to do the solid ones. And I'll do them in fresh freesia. Just to add a little bit more to the card. There. Some up through there. Some down here. Maybe some in that corner there because it might have a little bit of a gap. And I might even stamp some just off the edge here. I need my scrap piece of paper. Just off the edge. Whoops. Could help if I ink up the right side. There. And maybe, no, that's it. I'm not doing any more. Or maybe some up through there. Just peeking in through there. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to arrange those flowers how I want them. So I'm just going to, the large ones, I'm going to actually glue them down solid. I'm going to glue them down. And then the smaller ones, I'm going to pop those up. Okay. So with the larger ones, I don't mind just using some Seal Plus on behind and popping that there. The other one. And we'll pop that little one there. Then these ones, I think I'm going to pop up on the front with dimensionals. Yeah, decisions, Lynn. The hard part is, I think, when you're actually making sympathy cards and you know who it's going to, you tend to be a lot more particular in how things look. You tend to be probably a lot more judgmental in what you're doing, and maybe second guessing yourself. But I think I'm sure my friend is going to be very, very appreciative of these two gorgeous cards that she's going to get. And hopefully it's going to brighten her day and let her know that she's got people that are thinking of her in this sad time. All right, so we have that. And I think, oh, and I forgot my ribbon after all that. But you know what? I think I'm not actually going to do, I was going to do the fresh freesia ribbon, but I think I'm going to, I think I'm actually going to just do some twine, I think will be quite nice on here. So let's mount that up onto our fresh freesia layer. I love the words in that stamp set, but do you think it's going to be bad if one of the cards is coming from myself and one's coming from my mum, that we have the same, but that word is, that phrase is so nice, isn't it? Do you think I should do the same phrase? Okay. So I'm going to pop that up onto a crumb cake layer. I wonder, could I wrap the twine around? Let me see if I can do that. Could I wrap the twine around somewhere here? Or up through here? Let me see if I can do that. No, I think I'm just going to do a nice bow down in the bottom there. I think I'll do a nice double bow. I know, I'm thinking about, I need to use a different sentiment, but I'm not quite sure what I could use. Does anyone else have some sentiments that they think of? Any other ideas out of a stamp set? We do have I'm thinking of you. I'm just looking, sorry, I'm just looking in my stamp sets to see if there's anything else. No, not there. What about take care of yourself? With heartfelt sympathy, take care of yourself. Oh, you're on my mind and in my heart. Does charming sentiments have it? What about you're on my mind and in my heart? Yes, that one. What else have I got here? Oh, there's a, oh no, that's a bit too much. I'm thinking maybe that. Oh, okay, Grassy Grove. Sometimes you need to know someone really cares. Cheryl Lee's saying it's okay to use the same one. What about sometimes you need to know someone really cares? Both are awesome, hard to choose. I actually like the font of that one. I think this one's a little bit too, yeah, I think sometimes you need to know someone really cares. Okay, let's do that one. All right, so inside Inside, I'm going to do a couple of little flowers just down in the corner. So let's bring that in again. I'm just going to do the little flower in the corner. So okay. So let's do one little flower there, and maybe the big flower can go down here. There. Okay. That one in crumb cake. So thank you everyone for helping me make these cards. It helps to have someone else's input. Oh, and that one was a bit wonky. No, we can't have that. Too bad, too bad. Let's go again. Okay, I'm going to do this way. I prefer to do this way. This way. And then large one over the top. Now, that's my personal preference of how to do it because I feel like it's easier. So let's do this way. And then the large one, the solid one over the top. It's just easier to stamp the solid bit. You get a much better look. But anyway, personal preference, but it is what I like to do. All right, so I think I'm going to do the flowers in that there. Okay, and then that sentiment that we chose out of here. Oh, look at this. Look at this, everyone. Haven't used it. Okay. Sometimes you need to know that someone really cares. Is that it? Okay. Grassy Grove has always been one that I was going to use as a stamp club, but I don't know. It never got the votes enough. I had it there. All right. Now, if I was doing a sympathy card for a male, I would probably head more for like trees and things like the Grassy Grove. But because it's for a female, I think the flowers are the way to go. Okay. So let's get all of those out of the way. And we'll adhere that into the inside of the card. So feel free to give me the thumbs up if you like what I've done today. And feel free to share this back over onto your social media. If you're watching on YouTube, please feel free to share it back over onto your Facebook so that more people can get to share in the crafting experience. Even though we are crafting for something a little bit sad today, but crafting always makes us feel better, doesn't it? I mean, hanging out and crafting with you, I think has just been what I needed to do. And to share creating these cards at a time like this, it's nice to be hanging out with you all and getting your input. Even my mum said, can you please make me a special card? I would love to send her a special card. Can you please make me a special card and send it home with Denny on the weekend? And I said, yep, for sure. It's those special little moments, I think, that mean the most, isn't it, when in a time of loss. You can, I mean, probably right at the very moment when it's all happening is probably a little bit much for you, but later on you can go back through the gorgeous sympathy cards and maybe comprehend exactly what people are saying. Is the base crumb cake? Yes, the base is crumb cake, Lynn. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to do a double bow, I think. Okay, so I've got two bits of twine together, the linen thread, and we will do a double bow. And I'm thinking just down underneath, maybe even in there. What do you think? In underneath this flower here. I need to cut the ends off a little bit. What do I do with my scissors? There. I'm thinking just maybe down in underneath that flower there. Bottom angle here. There. And of course, I want to add some wink of Stella. Where did I put my wink? There it is. You know what, Christine? I know you said no bow, but there is no way that I'm going to send a card without a bow. If you know me and bows, you will understand that there is absolutely no way that I would send a card without a bow. Okay, so I'm adding a little bit of shimmer and shine on those with the wink of Stella. Okay. Tilt it a bit more. Which way? This way? Here? This way? Okay, let's grab a glue dot for that. Other way. This way. Under the flower. In under the flower this way. I don't actually mind it in there. No, the other way. They're all going, no, the other way. I don't know which way. You've all confused me now. Okay, I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to take a glue dot. I'm going to put a glue dot on the bow. And let's see which way it wants to sit. Clockwise. Do you know what? I'm going to go this way. Right there. Like that. It's done. The bow's on there. No changing it. The bow's on. All right. Now, I think I also want to spritz with my wink of Stella, but I think I also want to spritz with a little bit of the crumb cake too, I think. So I'm going to spritz with the wink of Stella. To get that gorgeous look. And same with the inside. My card, my choice. All right, now I'm going to grab the crumb cake. Is that crumb cake? Oh, that's soft suede. I'm going to grab crumb cake. Crumb cake, Stampin' Right marker, and we're going to spritz just a little bit. Just a little bit on the card, just to add a little bit of something. Tiny, tiny little bit, but it just adds a little bit extra to that card along with the wink of Stella. Now I need some gems on here. I definitely need some gems on here because we can't have a card without gems. I'm thinking of maybe our milky dots. I'm thinking this color here will go really nicely. So let's try that. Let's try. What do you think? I think they just set it off. They look a little bit like the fresh freesia. Okay, so there I have a couple of cards. I now want to do some envelopes so that we have some gorgeous matching envelopes for them. So I think on this one here, I'm going to do maybe just a crumb cake. Let's grab that stamp again, which is here. Let's ink it up in our crumb cake, and I need my scrap piece of paper again. Okay, so let's ink it up in crumb cake, and I think we will stamp off. Actually, I probably could have used the smaller flower out of this, but I like the way it comes stamped off. I better check I've got, yep. I was going to say I better check I've got the envelope the right way. Let's do that. And on that back flap, we will go again. Like so. Okay, so I think that one for that card. Okay, this one, I think I'm going to do maybe even maybe the large flower. Let's see. Where did I put all them? That one and that one. So we'll do the crumb cake first. So crumb cake. We will do the fresh freesia, which is there. Like that. We will do the little leafy bit. We'll do that and like that, and might just do some in there just to fill it up. And then we'll do the same thing over here. So we will do that flower, that fresh freesia flower, which I'm now mucked up because I didn't stamp it all on there, but that's okay. That, couple of little leaves coming in through there, and a couple of little leaves up through there. Okay, and there you have an envelope for that one as well. Okay, there we have it. 2 cards for my dear friend, and I'm sure she's going to love what I've done. So thank you very much, everyone, for hanging out with me and making me feel a lot better today, having to do that hard job of creating those cards for my lovely friend. So you never know. I mean, there's many times that our card making can actually bring joy to people's lives, can spark people up, can give a little ray of sunshine to people when they're feeling really down. I'm glad that I do this and I'm able to give something so special to my good, gorgeous friend. So thank you, everyone. And until next time, happy crafting, and I will see you all again soon. Bye for now.